I was in Cairo, Egypt. I don't know if you've ever been to Cairo, Egypt, but it is not a rich city, particularly in the middle of the city. There's a lot of poverty. There's a lot of people with almost nothing. Crossing the street is as much risk as I'd like to take in a year. I did it twice, and I used an Egyptian recovery each time. On the 20th of December, I delivered a Christmas card to the young man that I mentored. His name is Juan. I'd never been to his house before, even though I've been mentoring him for 2 years. I went down to his house. I stopped my car. I thought I was in Cairo again. I mean, the path in front of the house was very narrow. Kids playing in front of the house. I went to the door of the apartment. I didn't know whether he was home. The door was open a little bit. I pushed the door. And I saw Juan. He just got up from where he was having a nap, because they have 2 rooms. They have a 1-bedroom apartment with 6 children and a mother. And it looked just like Cairo. It took me about 3 days to get over that. And what I want to talk to you about is the mentoring program that he's in, why we do, what the results are, and what we need. First of all, why do we do what we do? Texas has the 2nd largest percentage of ungraduated people in the United States, approximately 2.5 million people. Our graduation rate throughout the state is about 67%. Our graduation rate in Houston is less than that. Our graduation rate at Lee High School is 47%. The average wage of a graduated student is a non-graduated student is $13,000 a year. How would you like to live on $13,000 a year? I ask each of you, as you went through where you got to now, did you have a mentor? How did you get through? What were your risks? What was the support that you had? Because these kids don't have much support. A couple of things I have in common, and I'll bring in something Richard talked to me about this morning. As you may be aware, Lee High School had one of the students murdered his mother in the last 3 weeks. One of the reasons that happened is neither one of those students, the one that murdered the mother or the one that organized it, had a father at home. And when you have a young man without a father at home, without any direction, without any mentoring, you're looking at a time bomb. When you have a young lady with no mother, not much direction, not much fathering, 25% of the girls at Lee High School are either pregnant or have had a baby. There's a child care facility in the school. That's what you get when you have no direction. And that's one of the main issues that these kids have. What do we do to stop that with our little mentoring program? We have right now 100 students. Our anniversary, we've had 13 years of doing this. We know what we're doing. We do things a little differently. We have one-on-one mentoring. We have a supervised room, which is the only thing the school provides. We get absolutely no money from HISD or any tax money from anybody. It's 100% contributions from people like me and businesses. We have one-on-one gender, same gender, 40 minutes a week for lunch. Now, why does this change what happens? It changes what happens because our wonderful professional mentors tell the kids about how well they've done and all the mistakes they've made. And when you tell a kid, because they sit across from you and think you're perfect, how many mistakes you made, they get this gleam in their eye. And you can watch it happen. I've watched it happen with 3 kids. And the gleam says, hang on, I thought Jim was perfect. He's old, he's worked for IBM, he's made a little money. And then he tells me about all these screw-ups. He tells me about the dysfunctional family that I had. He tells me about all the problems, and I'm lucky, I have a list of them this high. So I have a large range of things. And the kid thinks, well, Jim made all these mistakes, and he made it. Why can't I? Maybe I can. And for the first time in their lives, these kids think they can actually do it. They can actually graduate, because nobody in their family has ever graduated. I've never mentored a student where anybody in that family has ever graduated from high school. First one I had was an Afghan student. Mark was at the house yesterday for 2 hours because he just joined community college on the 19th of January, and he's doing great. He was, of course, having trouble with English because it's his 5th language. But he's in community college, and he graduated. The second one, Juan, is doing his last course on a computer right now with some software they just installed at school. None of his family ever graduated just like Mark. He's doing his last course. We went to see the guidance counselor to get him into community college on Tuesday. He's going to graduate, and he's going to go to community college. The third kid, I saw him in Mr. Johnson's office, the counselor, and he's going to go to community college. Why? Because we open a new world. Our wonderful professional mentors open a world for these kids that they've never seen in their lives. We have a Christmas party. They walk into the house, which is a standard Sugar Land house with 3 bedrooms, nice house. They all look around, and the question they ask us is, how many people live here? They've never seen anything like that. So that's what we do, and we graduate in that situation 95% of our kids. Each kid is referred by a teacher or a social worker. We graduate 95% of our kids. In a school where 25% of the girls are pregnant or have had a baby, we have a percentage of 5%. What do we need? To do that requires a full-time counselor to oversee the lunches, to organize 100 meetings a week. That costs us money. We need cash. We need some other things. We need auditing. We need board members. We want to expand this. I am not satisfied to see murders happen in one of our high schools in Houston, Texas. The reason that happened, one of those reasons, both those kids were supposed to go to our mentoring in the next 3 months. They'll never make it, of course. They'll be in prison the rest of their lives. But I'm not satisfied with that, and with a little bit of your help and the help of the rest of the community, we can change it. Thank you very much.